Welcome to lecture 15. My name is Professor J. N. Mandal, Department of Civil Engineering, Indian Institute of Technology, Bombay, Mumbai, India. The name of the course Geosynthetics Engineering in Theory and Practice. This module 4, lecture 15, Geosynthetics for filtration, drainage and erosion control system. This is one of the most important lecture related with the filtration, drainage and erosion control problem. There are many problems in infrastructure related with the filtration and drainage as well as erosion control. Many structure collapse due to the not proper drainage system or filtration system. So, it is very much essential to study in depth about this subject. Outline of this course: introduction, mechanism of filtration function, subsurface drainage, design for filtration, mechanism of drainage function, geocomposite prefabricated highway edge drain, geosynthetics wrapped French drain, prefabricated geocomposite lateral drain, and geosynthetics for erosion control. Look at this picture. This is the paved runway and this is a soldier and this is the buried drain. And conventional method, we do not provide any geotextile material on the top of the pavement, but you can provide with the geocomposite and then asphalt covering on the top. You should provide proper kind of the slope in order that rain water can drain it out throughout this drainage system. Now, most important that how the water should percolate through the pavement runway if there is no geosynthetics material. I am showing you that some means of moisture movement in a pavement. Let us say this is compacted subgrade. And this is the pavement. Now, rainwater, it can pass through this pavement, that means through permeable surface. So, it also sometimes the seepage from the high groundwater, suppose if it is a high groundwater, then seepage also from the high groundwater. There is a vapor movement, that if there is any water table, so there will be from water table. Then also upward movement of water table, or there is a capillary rise. So, there are various means of moisture movement in the pavement. So, moisture can ingress the crack and soften the subgrade for further deterioration. So, what we can adopt and what we can provide with the proper kind of the drainage and the filtration system, and what is the type of conventional systems are going on. So, I will show you some drainage system. So, what we do, that you can see that roadside we provide with this kind of the drainage system. In the conventional method, suppose if it is a 60 centimeter and if it is a 30 centimeter, and then we fill up with the good quality of the aggregate, okay, and after a passage of time the surrounding its soil. So, after a passage of time this aggregate choked or clogged, and then again you have to remove the aggregate, then properly excavate and fill up with the fresh good quality aggregate. So, this is what is the conventional method what we adopt. So, maintenance is a one of the greatest problem, because it frequently clogged or choked. So, alternative to this system, we can provide, let us say this is 30 centimeter and this is 15 centimeter. So, you can excavate 30 centimeter and then also you can excavate 15 centimeter, and you can place a layer of geotextile material. This is geotextile material, and then you place the aggregate, and then you can wrap with geotextile material, you can wrap it. So, what will happen in it's like a encapsulated with the geotextile material. So, there should not be any clogging. So, you have to select the proper kind of the geotextile material. This is geotextile material. So, what we most of the cases what we use, you can see sometimes we can use this kind of the sand for the filtration and the drainage, that is conventional what we use it. We can also use for more good drainage, we use this kind of the aggregate, okay, well gated or open gated good quality aggregate. So, this we use for the conventional method. So, alternative to this system, we can use geotextile. It may be non-woven geotextile, or it may be oven geotextile. So, this is the kind of geotextile material I am showing. I have shown you also earlier. This is the kind of the non-oven geotextile material. This filament is very random. So, you can wrap it, it is very flexible, you can wrap it like this any direction and you fill up with the aggregate. So, you can use this kind of non-oven geotextile material, or you can use this is oven geotextile material which filament is perpendicular to each other. So, this kind of oven and non-oven geotextile material can be used. Apart from this, you can simply, for example, this is the road and here is the drainage system. So, you can use here this prefabricated drainage, You do not need even then road anything kind of the excavation with machinery, very less excavation can be done and simultaneously you can place the material, that is prefabricated drain, prefabricated. Prefabricated you can say prefabricated geocomposite drain, let us say geocomposite drain, geocomposite drain. So, it is a kind of material like this, it is prefabricated geocomposite drain, it is a plastic wrapped with the geotextile material, you can simply place both sides of the road by the machinery. It has been used exclusively in the Malaysia. So, you do not need any kind of the gravel or the sand, even then any oven, non-oven geotextile material. Simply you can use this material and it gives very good flow capacity. So, this what we talked about the filter and the drainage for the road, and similarly you can use the geosynthetic material for the erosion control. For the erosion control you can see this is the subgrade and this is the geosynthetic material and this is the riprap or stone is placed on this and this is the wave. Then you have to check up that what is the tidal wave, whether it is in laminar condition or the turbulent condition. So, accordingly you have to design this for erosion control material. So, what I told you about that conventional graded granular material are used for filtration and drainage purpose in various projects of civil engineering. Various types of the aggregate drain are available. The most common form of aggregate field drain is the French drain, which comprises a trench filled with the free drainage material. You can see this is the French drain and this trench is filled with the free drainage aggregate, and this is the base soil and this is the aggregate fill drain. So, what this conventional aggregate fill trench drain we generally use. Now, French drain can serve the following purpose. It can collect the surface water, run up from the top of the drain, then control the groundwater flow, lower the high groundwater table. groundwater flow towards the drain carrying some fine particle from the base soil, and consequently the aggregate become blocked after some period, having no adequate water removal capacity. Like this you can see, this is the base, the water surface. From base the soil can pass to the aggregate and it blocked, and therefore there is no adequate water removal capacity. The continued transmission of fine from the base soil to the drainage aggregate is called the piping or clogging. It also causes internal erosion of the base soil. The aggregate in a French drain should fulfill the following criteria so as to perform effectively. One is permeability criteria, second filtration criteria of base soil, and third uniformity criteria. The special grading of aggregate is required based on the grading of base soil. The requirement for conventional graded filter design are as follows. So there is a piping criteria, that means D15 filter should be less than equal to 5 of D85 soil. Permeability criteria, D15 filter should be greater than equal to 5 D85 soil, and uniformity criteria, that is D15 filter less than equal to 25 D50 soil. So in the conventional method what we design for the piping criteria, permeability criteria and the uniformity criteria. Now how can we determine all these parameters? So what is D15? D15 is the diameter of the soil particle at which 15% by dry weight of the soil particle are finer than that grain size. D85 is the diameter of the soil particle at which 85% by dry weight of the soil particle are finer than that grain size. And D50 diameter of the soil particle at which 50% by dry weight of the soil particle are finer than that grain size. So you can see this is the grain size distribution curve, this is the percentage finer, and this is the particle diameter in millimeter. For any filtration, drainage and the erosion control system, one should conduct thoroughly the soil investigation and particularly the grain size distribution. So this you can see that grain size distribution curve, and from this grain size distribution curve you can calculate what should be the D15, what will be the D50 and what should be the D85. Then you can check with this criteria, piping criteria, permeability criteria and the uniformity criteria. So if it is satisfied, then it is okay. What is called conventional method, what we do. And in general for the grain size distribution, you know this is the relationship between percentage finer and particle size distribution. From this curve we generally determine what is the coefficient of uniformity, Cu D60 by D10, coefficient of curvature Cc D30 square divided by D10 into D60. For you can calculate what is D10, what is D30 and what is D50 from this grain size distribution curve. Satisfying the drainage criteria for conventional graded filter design is extremely expensive. The condition can easily and cheaply be achieved using a geosynthetic drainage system. It can perform both drainage and filtration. What is drainage? What is filtration? Drainage means geosynthetic allow water to pass along its plane. It is called the transmittivity. What is the filtration? Geosynthetics allow water to pass across the plane but retain the soil particle. It is called permittivity. Now in general that difference between permittivity and transmittivity. This is, it occurs across the plane of the geosynthetics, and it occurs along the plane of the geosynthetics in case of transmittivity. In case of permittivity, it is useful in the filtration function, and in case of transmittivity, it is useful in drainage function. And look at the unit of permittivity is per second. Unit of transmittivity is meter square per second. So you should remember. So what is the filtration? It is very one common example that geosynthetics for the filtration. This you can see, we take a cup of coffee or tea through the filter material. So filtration function of geosynthetic is illustrated through a simple example. When the liquid tea is filtered through a textile material. So this is one good example for the filtration. Now, as I showed you also, nowadays geosynthetics are extensively and successfully being used for the filtration, drainage and erosion control system, alternative to the traditional granular material. So this I showed you the gravel and sand, this is the traditional method, and this is the different types of the geosynthetic material. So this is geonet, this is geocomposite, it may be woven and non-woven geotextile also, what I showed you. So this is alternative system can be used. Also in terms of energy, you can save, I also explained in my earlier lecture. Now here you can see some differences between the conventional aggregate and geosynthetics, and this is given by CUR RWS 1995. This is edited by Dr. K. Pliarsky, and this is a kind of the code. So you can see the property, aggregate and geosynthetics. What is the differences between aggregate and the geosynthetics? Look at porosity, aggregate 25 to 40%, whereas geosynthetics porosity is 75 to 95%. Thickness, in case of aggregate high, it is greater than 150 millimeter, and geosynthetics is low, less than 50 millimeter. Capillary rise HC, in case of aggregate less than 500 millimeter, in case of geosynthetics HC less than 50 millimeter. Compressibility in case of aggregate negligible, in case of geosynthetics medium to high. Tensile strength in case of aggregate no, and in case of geosynthetics it is low to high. Transmittivity under confining stress in case of aggregates invariable, but in case of geosynthetics it is variable. Then uniformity, in case of aggregate variable gradation, in case of geosynthetics factory control production. Installation, for aggregate you need compaction needed, and in case of geosynthetics seaming of the joint easily, it can be seamed. In case of risk damage, aggregate none, but in case of geosynthetic there is a possibility for puncturing and tearing may occur, but you have to design very carefully in order that geosynthetic material should not be punctured or tear up. And generally it is a the CUR is Center for Civil Engineering Research code, and this is the manual on the use of the rock in the hydraulics engineering. So you have seen that what is the major difference between the aggregate and the geosynthetic material. So there is a lot of advantage for the use of geosynthetic material for the filtration, drainage and the erosion control. Next, what is the mechanism of filtration function? So geosynthetic can perform effectively as the alternative to graded granular filter. Design criteria for filtration with geotextile is the same as the design with the graded granular filter. When liquid or water flow across the plane of the geotextile is called filtration. Geotextile is made of filament or yarn with proper opening size like the soil has particle and void. You can see this picture left hand side, this is graded granular material, and this graded granular material, this is like a filament, and this is the void of soil, it is like a opening size. So you can analog this graded granular material filter with the geosynthetics filter. If you can see, this is a open geotextile material and it has a opening size or apparent opening size, and this as also the filament or ion. So filament or ion like a graded granular material, and void ratio of the soil or opening size is like a opening size of the geotextile material. So soil with large particle size of or geotextile with larger pore size allow higher flow rate. The soil with smaller particle sizes or geotextile with smaller pore size allow lower flow rate. Soil filter design depend primarily on the size of the soil particle. The geotextile filter design depend primarily on the opening size of the geotextile material. As the geotextile material is prefabricated, so you can design as you like it. So this I am showing some of the picture. You can see that what is the conventional drainage system. You can see this is the drainage, okay, lots of also this plastic bottle and the paper wastage material just lie down, it will be clogging, it will be open. You can see some also drainage system here, you can see near to the railway drainage system, you can see the railway is passing through what there is a drainage system, anytime the accident may occur. So this you can see what kind of severe problem may comes if you do not provide proper kind of the drainage system. So this is the conventional system, what is happening. So geosynthetics filter criteria, this is adequate permeability, allow the water to flow through the filter into the drain so as no excess hydrostatic flow pressure can build up. Retain the soil particle in place and prevent their migration, that is piping through the filter. In some soil particle move, they must be able to pass through the filter without plugging or clogging. Open geotextile allow the water to pass, whereas the closed geotextile retain the soil. Now what are the advantages? That size of the drain can be reduced, as I told also earlier. Quality of the aggregate can also be reduced because size is reduced, so automatically quantity of aggregate also will be reduced. Excavation also soil can be reduced. So instead of 60 by 30 centimeter, you are excavating 30 by 15 centimeter. Perforated pipe may not be required. Sometimes in the aggregate you provide with the perforated pipe, it may not be required. Prevent contamination and segregation of aggregate, and cost of the construction can be reduced. There are many applications. It applies in the trench drain, pavement base course or edge drain, blanket drain, interception drain, retaining wall and bridge abutment, chimney and throw drain for earth dam and lifts, erosion control and seal plains. So you can see here the geosynthetics, this is the geosynthetics, this encapsulating the drainage granular field in a trench drain to prevent the soil from migrating into the aggregate. This is FHWA 1995. You can see this is the roadway, this is the flexible wearing surface, and this is the geotextile material, this is geotextile material, and this is the filter gravel, and sometimes we provide the drainage pipe, that is the optional, and this is the subgrade soil with fines, and this is the subgrade. So water just can percolate through this drain. So here this geosynthetic material wrap trench drain beneath the pavement edge drain. This is another example for geosynthetics in drain blanket. This is the filling material. You can see that how the geosynthetics has been placed like this red color, this is the geosynthetic placed like this, and this is the geotextile material. In the sports field, for drain it out, you can use this kind of also drainage system. So this is the geosynthetics in drainage blanket. This is geosynthetics as chimney drain and trough drain in a earth rock fill dam. So this is red color is the geosynthetic material. This is either the earth dam and this is the chimney drain. This is the earth rock, this is the fill dam to control the seepage. The water can pass through this, and this is the aggregate. So it will not mix with the aggregate, it is drained it out. So what the geotextile material to control the seepage. This is geosynthetics here, the wrap around the interceptor surface and trough drain to control the surface erosion and provide the stable slope. What the stable slope is there, you can see how the water can pass through this geotextile material. So here also you can control the surface erosion by providing the geosynthetic drain. This is geosynthetics is placed behind the retaining wall and the bridge abutment to separate the drainage aggregate from the backfill soil. You can see that this is the backfill soil, this is the drainage pipe. You are providing this red color with the geosynthetic material at the base, at the back, and also on the top. Whatever the water can seepage from here or the rainwater from here, then ultimately is passed to the drain pipe. What geosynthetic, that's why placed behind the retaining wall. There should not be development of excess hydrostatic pressure, the wall may collapse. To prevent to the seepage, then you can provide with the geosynthetic material. Now this is what you call the geocomposite drain behind this retaining wall. So this is the retaining wall, and this is the geocomposite drain you can provide. There is a drain pipe. So you can provide with this kind of this material. We can see this is the core material, and this wrap with the geotextile material. This is geotextile material. So you can use it on the back of the retaining wall, and the water can be drained it out through drain pipe. This is for the erosion control. You can see this is the red one is the geotextile material. This is the bedding layers subgrade, and there is a sand layer, and the armor is on the top. So there is a possibility that this armor material or rock material can penetrate it into the geotextile material if you directly place it. So instead of that, you can provide a layer of the sand layer which will act as a cushion, which then after that you can provide with the armor material. So here this geotextile material can be replaced for the uniform graded soil or filter, so it will not any punch, and then the geotextile material is on the safer side, and both the rock, riprap, and the even then sometimes you can provide with the precast block or and replace on the geotextile material, what geotextile material will act as a filtration or drainage, and this all the material are the prefabricated. So it can, this cushion or the sand layer, this cushion or the sand layer which will protect from the impact damage, or also during the installation there is a possibility for damage, so it can be controlled. And secondly, there may be a abrasion damage due to the wave action. If wave action, there is a possibility for the abrasion between the aggregate and the geotextile material, so it can be prevented. So what also you require that if there is a inadequate of permeability, so that's why you can provide with the proper kind of the geosynthetic material for the erosion control. This is another the seal fence made of geotextile to block the seal transported by the water current and protect the construction site. Any construction site is going on here, then from the slope, then there will be the sedimentation, and this can be prevented by providing with the log and the geotextile material as a seal fence. Then the sedimentation can be gradually reduced. I will explain later on that what is the seal fence, how you can make use of the seal fence, how you can design the seal fence. Now this is one you can see that traditional method drainage system, this is placed. Instead of that, I showed you this kind of the material. It can be replaced by the geosynthetic seed drain, and it can be covered with the soil. So you don't need it to keep it open or any kind of the contamination, and anyone cannot be dumped here if you can use alternative to the geocomposite material. So it is automatically drained it out. So now there are mainly the three filtration concept. This is important to us. What is that filtration concept and mechanism? One, if the largest opening size of geotextile is smaller than the larger soil particle, soil will not pass by the filter. As a result, a filter bridge will form. You can see here the filter bridge is formed. This is the geotextile material, and filter bridge will form over the geotextile and retain the soil particle or prevent piping or migration. This is the drainage aggregate seepage on this. This is the soil. So when the largest opening size geotextile is smaller than the largest soil particle, soil will not pass by the filter. So a filter bridge will form over the geotextile material and then retain the soil particle or prevent the piping or migration. This is filter bridge formulation given by Christopher and Holtz 1989. The second, if the smaller opening size of the geotextile is larger than the size of the smaller soil particle, the smaller particle can freely pass through the filter. As a result, the geosynthetic spore will not become clogged or blind. You can see here, this is the geotextile material, and you can see how it is the blinding and also how it is clogging the particle deposition due to the seepage. So this is the method of clogging and the binding, because here molar opening size of geotextile is larger than the size of the molar soil particle. So molar particle can freely pass through the filter. As a result, geotextile floor will not become clogged or the blinding. So this is method of clogging binding given by Bell and Hicks 1980. And third, large number of the opening of geosynthetics would be preferable to maintain the proper flow, as some of the opening may become plugged. Therefore, we require three criteria for design of geosynthetic filtration or drainage system. This is important to us. What is these three kind of the criterion? First criteria is the retention criterion. That means geosynthetics must retain the soil. Second, permeability criterion, that allow the water to pass. And third, clogging resistant criterion, that means geosynthetics to soil long term flow compatibility should not excessively clog the fabric or geosynthetic. So these three criteria is are very important, and when you will design the geosynthetics for the filtration, drainage and erosion control, it must satisfy all these 3 criteria. If it satisfies, then that kind of the geosynthetic material is suitable for the proper kind of the application in civil engineering. Now, subsurface drainage. The geosynthetic can be used as a subsurface drainage in the pavement, retaining wall and earth dam, etc., to replace the graded granular material as filter in drain, as FHWA, Federal Highway Administrative, 1998. So, here we are giving the stepwise that what when you design and what you should do. Step 1, check the nature of the project, whether it is a critical or severe or less critical or severe. For example, the near to the seashore where there is a wave, and then it will be the severe kind of the structure. So, it will be critical. So, first of all you should know whether it is a critical or it is a less critical. So, that you have to define depending upon the type of the project. And step 2, as I say that you should thoroughly find out that what will be the gain size distribution, and from the gain size distribution you can calculate what will be the Cu, that is D60 by D10. Cu is the coefficient of uniformity, D60 is the size in millimeter at 60% passing, D10 size in millimeter for 10% passing. So, from the gain size distribution curve you can determine this parameter. Now, step 3, conduct the permeability test. In absence, you can use the Hagen's formula that you know K is equal to D10 square, or K is the coefficient of permeability centimeter per second. Step 4, choose proper drainage aggregate. Step 5, check suitability of the geotextile material. Now, retention criteria for steady state flow condition. For steady state flow condition, O95 should be less than equal to B into D85, where B is equal to 1 for conservative design, and O95 is very, very important to us. O95 is apparent opening size or opening size of the geotextile for which 95% are smaller in millimeter, and B is a dimensionalized coefficient, and D85 soil particle size for which 85% are smaller in millimeter. So, from the gain size distribution curve you can determine the D85, and B, as I said, it is 1 for conventional design. So, then you can determine whether O95 is less than equal to B into D85 or not. Next, this coefficient B varies between 1 and 2 depending on the value of uniformity coefficient Cu. So, for the soil less than equal to 50% passing, the 0.075 millimeter sieve, that is sand and silty sand, etc., B value is a function of Cu. You can see this table that how B value as a function of Cu. When Cu less than equal to 2, B is 1, Cu greater than equal to 2, less than equal to 4, B value is 0.5 Cu. When Cu greater than 4, less than 8, then B value is 8 by Cu. When Cu greater than equal to 8, B value is 1. So, based on the Cu, then you can select what should be the B value. Now, second, that with the soil more than 50% passing, the 0.075 millimeter sieve, that is silty and clay, and B depend upon the type of the geotextile. When B is equal to 1, O95 less than equal to D85 for open geotextile, B is equal to 1.8, O95 less than equal to 1.8 D85 for non-open geotextile, and O95 less than equal to 0.3 millimeter for both open and non-open geotextile material. Now, non-open geotextile generally will retain after particle than a woven geotextile of the same apparent opening size. Therefore, B is equal to 1 will be more conservative for non-woven geotextile. In absence of detailed design, you can follow the ASTO M288 standard specification for geotextile 1997. Now, this is ASTO M288 standard specification for geotextile 1997. Maximum apparent opening size value in relation to percent of in situ soil passing the 0.075 millimeter sieve. 1. 0.43 millimeter for less than 15% passing. Number 2, 0.25 millimeter for 15 to 50% passing, and number 3, 0.22 millimeter for more than 50% passing. If the plasticity index is greater than 7 for cohesive soil, O95, that is apparent opening size, will be equal to 0.3 millimeter maximum. This is as per ASTO specification. Now, for the retention criteria for dynamic flow, if it is a dynamic flow, then apparent opening size or the O95 is less than equal to 0.5 into D85. Step 6, determine the permeability or permittivity of geotextile. Now, permeability for less critical and less severe application, the coefficient of permeability of geotextile should be greater than equal to coefficient of permeability of soil. But for critical and severe application, coefficient of permeability of the geotextile should be greater than equal to 10 times the coefficient of permeability of the soil. So, that you remember what would be the coefficient of permeability of the geotextile when there is a less critical, that will be greater than or equal to 1 into K of soil, and if it is the severe or critical, then the K geotextile should be greater than equal to 10 times the coefficient of permittivity of the soil. Now, permittivity in accordance with the ASTO T88 from the grain size analysis, the for percentage in situ passing 0.075 millimeter sieve, the psi value should be greater than equal to 0.5 per second, when for 15% passing through 0.075 millimeter, when psi greater than is equal to 0.2 per second for 15 to 50% passing 0.075 millimeter, and psi greater than equal to 0.1 per second for more than 50% passing 0.075 millimeter, where psi is equal to geotextile permittivity. So, you will be knowing what percentage of the passing, whether it is less than 50% passing to 0.075 from the grain size distribution curve, and also you will be knowing whether it is 50 to 50%. So, accordingly you can select this permittivity value for the geotextile material. Step 7, then calculate the flow capacity requirement. Q required will be equal to Q geotextile divided by AG into AT, or K geotextile by TG into H into AG should be greater than equal to Q required. So, K geotextile by TG is equal to psi, that means permittivity, and TG is equal to geotextile thickness. H is average head in the field, and this AG is geotextile area available for flow. That is, if 70% of the geotextile is covered by the wall or pipe, AG will be equal to 30% of the total area, and here AT is the total area of geotextile. Now, step 8, determine the clogging resistance criteria. For less critical, less severe condition, O95 of geotextile should be greater than equal to 3D15 soil for Cu greater than 3. If it is a non-woven, then porosity of geotextile will be greater than equal to 50%. It is a woven, then percentage open area or POA should be greater than equal to 4%. Most woven monofilament geotextile can meet the above criteria. However, tightly woven slit film does not meet the criteria and not recommended for subgrade drainage application. For critical or severe condition, select the geotextile that meet the less retention and the permeability criteria. Perform gradation ratio test as per ASTM D5101 using one side soil sample. A gradient ratio less than 3 is recommended by the US Army Corps of Engineers 1977 with graph graded soil. The test is more suitable for sandy and the silty soil with the coefficient of permeability K greater than or equal to 10 to the power minus 7 meter per second. If K less than 10 to the power minus 7 meter per second, use the hydraulic conductivity ratio, that is HCR test as per ASTM D5567. So, with this I ended up this today's lecture. Any question? Thanks for listening.